Difficulty multitasking is one of the clearest and earliest warning signs that cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to shift between tasks, manage competing information, and adapt to changing demands, is beginning to decline. It often starts subtly. You might notice that switching from one task to another feels exhausting, or that trying to follow a conversation while reading an email becomes frustratingly difficult. You may feel overwhelmed when multiple things demand your attention at once, or experience mental traffic jams when under time pressure. These lapses aren't always signs of laziness or distraction. They can be early indicators of diminished executive function, the set of brain processes that control attention, organization, and decision-making. Ignoring these symptoms allows cognitive rigidity to take hold, slowly eroding not only productivity, but also confidence and adaptability in everyday life. Multitasking itself is a complex neural skill. It relies on a network that includes the prefrontal cortex, the brain's control center, along with the parietal and anterior cingulate cortices, which manage attention allocation and conflict resolution. When this system is healthy, the brain can fluidly switch between tasks, keeping relevant information active in working memory while filtering out distractions. But with aging, chronic stress, and poor lifestyle habits, these neural circuits lose efficiency. The prefrontal cortex, in particular, is vulnerable to metabolic stress, inflammation, and loss of dopamine, a neurotransmitter essential for motivation and focus. As a result, the brain becomes slower at reorienting attention, more easily fatigued, and more prone to confusion when presented with multiple streams of input. What once felt easy, cooking while chatting, organizing files while answering messages, begins to feel draining. This is not a trivial inconvenience, but a neurological signal that mental flexibility is weakening and requires intervention. A major factor behind declining multitasking ability is what neuroscientists call attention narrowing. When the brain is under constant low-level stress, sleep-deprived, or nutritionally imbalanced, it becomes increasingly tunnel-visioned, focusing narrowly on one stimulus while struggling to shift efficiently. Digital overload contributes heavily to this problem. Frequent interruptions from phones, social media, and emails create artificial demands on attention, training the brain to switch superficially, but not deeply. Over time, this constant digital toggling weakens the brain's natural switching mechanisms, leading to reduced attention span and working memory capacity. Ironically, what seems like constant multitasking in daily life is often mere distraction cycling, where focus is never truly engaged and mental energy is rapidly depleted. To restore true cognitive flexibility, the first step is to retrain the brain through structured dual-task training. Cognitive programs such as BrainHQ, Neuronation, or CogniFit offer scientifically validated exercises that require the brain to process two forms of information simultaneously, such as identifying moving visual patterns while responding to sound cues. These activities directly strengthen the prefrontal and parietal circuits involved in multitasking. They are especially effective when practiced consistently for about 15 to 20 minutes a day. Over weeks, users typically notice greater ease in task switching and faster information processing. However, the key is consistency and progression. Start with simple dual tasks and increase complexity as the brain adapts. Just as physical muscles need gradual overload to grow, the brain's flexibility systems strengthen with structured, incremental challenge. Traditional games and puzzles can also be powerful cognitive tools. Activities like chess, Sudoku, or crosswords force the brain to plan, adapt, and track multiple possibilities simultaneously, a mental workout for multitasking circuits. Learning a musical instrument or practicing a second language adds further depth by integrating auditory, visual, and motor coordination. These challenges stimulate neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and repair existing ones. For older adults, such activities can significantly slow the decline in executive function and even enhance performance beyond previous levels. The message here is that mental agility can be rebuilt, but only through deliberate practice, not passive entertainment. Diet plays a profound supporting role in maintaining multitasking ability. The Mediterranean-style diet, rich in olive oil, fatty fish, nuts, whole grains, and leafy greens, has repeatedly been shown to enhance cognitive performance and delay age-related decline. Its benefits come from multiple mechanisms. It reduces inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, and provides critical nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids and polyphenol, which nourish neuronal membranes and enhance synaptic signaling. Omega-3s, particularly DHA, help preserve the fluidity of brain cell membranes, essential for fast communication during task switching. Polyphenol found in berries, olive oil, and green tea protect against oxidative damage that impairs neurotransmitter balance. Meanwhile, excess refined sugar, trans fats, and processed foods should be minimized, as they promote neuroinflammation and can literally slow neural transmission. Hydration, too, should not be underestimated. Even mild dehydration reduces the brain's ability to focus and transition smoothly between tasks. Sleep and rest cycles are equally critical. During deep sleep, the brain consolidates learning and reorganizes information pathways, which are essential for efficient switching and multitasking. Poor or inconsistent sleep weakens these pathways and makes cognitive transitions more effortful. A regular bedtime routine, avoiding screens before sleep, and maintaining a cool, dark environment can greatly improve mental agility the next day. The warning here is that chronic sleep disruption does not just make you tired, it erodes the prefrontal cortex's ability to coordinate complex thought, leaving the brain functioning in a low gear even when fully awake. Physical activity adds another dimension to cognitive protection. Aerobic exercise enhances cerebral blood flow and stimulates the release of neurotrophic factors like BDNF, which strengthen neural connections and support flexibility in thought. Activities that combine movement and coordination, such as dancing, tai chi, or even brisk walking while solving mental puzzles, are especially effective because they integrate body and brain training simultaneously. Such dual engagement mirrors the multitasking challenges the brain faces daily, keeping attention networks responsive and adaptable. Emotional regulation also influences multitasking capacity more than many realize. When anxiety or frustration rise, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, overrides the prefrontal cortex, narrowing attention and making task switching nearly impossible. Therefore, emotional balance must be part of any cognitive enhancement plan. Mindfulness, deep breathing, and progressive relaxation reduce stress hormones and restore control to the frontal lobes, allowing smoother transitions between activities. Over time, mindfulness practice itself improves attentional flexibility, training the brain to notice distractions without being derailed by them. The warning cannot be overstated. Difficulty multitasking is not merely a product of being busy or getting older. It is a sign that neural coordination and energy metabolism are under strain. Ignoring it can lead to compounding deficits in attention, memory, and emotional regulation. But the positive side is deeply encouraging. The brain remains plastic well into old age. With the right combination of mental training, physical exercise, nutrition, and rest, the neural systems that manage multitasking can recover and even exceed prior capacity. A practical daily approach might involve a 20-minute brisk walk followed by 15 minutes of dual-task training, a Mediterranean-style meal rich in greens and fish, and a period of mindful reflection before bed to calm the mind. Adding occasional complex games, such as chess or strategy puzzles, can maintain the challenge needed for continued adaptation. Over time, these simple yet powerful practices rebuild the scaffolding of cognitive flexibility. What was once frustrating mental sluggishness can transform into renewed clarity, faster switching, and smoother thinking. The warning remains, however, if one continues to live in constant digital overload, eat poorly, sleep erratically, and ignore signs of mental fatigue, the decline in multitasking will deepen and spread to other cognitive domains. But for those who choose to engage in structured retraining, nourish their brain, and protect their energy, the reward is immense: a brain that remains agile, adaptable, and capable of juggling the complexity of modern life with resilience and calm precision.